Getting ready for my next fight. And I want to wish a happy 28th to my favorite prostate. Signed, sealed, and delivered. We got to...
This summer, boxing fans finally get the blockbuster they've been waiting for, as Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas have been confirmed to face off on June 27th at the Barclays Center. The Philly fighter has already wasted no time reacting, throwing out bold statements that show he isn't merely after victory. He wants to dominate the entire sport, and that swagger has a whole division talking.
Feeling great, man. About to be a two-time weight division unified champ. Man, I'm snapping my legacy, man. It's only up, man. I'm about to show the world I'm the best in the world. I'm gonna continue to keep showing the world I'm the best in the world. Like this boxing game, mine, straight like that.
Even Max Kellerman finds himself conflicted on this matchup, wondering aloud whether sheer skill alone can be enough to defeat the most fearsome young talent the sport has produced in recent memory.
And Boots has just looked more special athletically to me than Xander throughout their careers, right? Sure. On the other hand, when you said Xander got better, Xander was so precocious. He was such a young fighter when we first saw him.
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. also waiting on the bout, going deep into the technical edge that sets one fighter apart from everyone else, dissecting the small details and abilities that make this showdown so compelling.
He has a good enough foundation to do anything necessary at the time that it calls for it. So if it calls for throwing a leap in the hook, he can do that. If it calls for throwing an overhand right, he can do that. If it calls for putting his hand down and setting you up to hit you, he can do that. That's what the great ones like myself were able to do. We are able to adapt on the spot. And it's because of having a great foundation. If you don't have a great foundation, you can't do that. So all this stuff about talent, no. Talent is more like Prince Nassim Hamed, who can bang you but use his head to get away. None of that was natural. None of that was fundamental. That's why when you met fundamental fighters, he had a little bit harder time. What we do is fundamentally inclined. It's not just talent. It's not just luck. It's not just going through.
The boxing veteran didn't soften his words as he drew comparisons between the two men, openly questioning whether the younger contender has what it takes to hold his own at such a high level of competition.
And not long ago, and I found out how good Xander really is. So Xander is a good fighter, but I don't know if he's on Boots level.
Gabriel Rosado notes that Zayas isn't merely a refined technician. He's also a genuine physical specimen whose sheer size could shift the entire course of the fight. He cautions fans against dismissing the huge frame Zayas carries into the ring, suggesting it might be the great equalizer against the pound-for-pound great.
From Puerto Rico, he showed that boxing ability, nice jab, nice movement, good stamina, endurance, and he's a big dude, man. I went for a jog with him in Puerto Rico. I'm like, how big are you, dude? He walks like 190, man. He's a solid big guy. So he's bringing that weight and that size as well into that.
The seasoned fighter admitted he was stunned that anyone would willingly pick the hardest possible route instead of an easier path toward a championship. It's a bold gamble that speaks volumes about how much respect and fear the boxing community holds for what Boots brings into the ring.
In Puerto Rico, he showed that boxing ability, nice jab, nice movement, good stamina, endurance, and he's a big dude, man. I went for a jog with him in Puerto Rico. I'm like, how big are you, dude? He walks like 190, man. He's a solid big guy. So he's bringing that weight and that size as well.
Rosado predicts the atmosphere inside the arena will be electrifying, with a huge crowd turning the venue into hostile turf capable of pushing one man to his breaking point. This bout goes beyond a simple boxing contest. It's a clash of fan bases, where the noise from the stands could end up deciding the outcome in the late rounds.
Definitely didn't have to take, man. You know, he's a two-division champion right now. And for him to choose the toughest guy on paper right now, I mean, skill-wise, Boots, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. He could have went a different route, but he chose the best.
Coach Breadman thinks this matchup might be coming together because the keenest scouts in the game believe they've spotted a flaw worth attacking. It's a high-stakes gamble where one camp is wagering everything on having cracked the code of a feared, untouchable champion.
I mean, somebody's pushing it. Maybe he is pushing it because top-ranked matchmakers, bro, they got the best odds in the game. Bruce Trampler, Brad Goodman, Carl Moretti, them guys know what they're looking at. And I'm not saying I haven't talked to them and asked them. I don't ask people their business like that. But they know that Boots is the real deal. So maybe Xander himself is like, I can beat him. And maybe the money is so good you can't turn it down.
Coach Breadman suggests that the payday on offer might have grown so large that turning it down stopped making sense, no matter how risky the fight may be. Inside the training camps, the true motivations behind accepting such a dangerous matchup are starting to surface.
If you see Boots get a kid that moves a lot, 5'10", 5'11" in his camp, all right, you know he fighting Xander. Just got to just watch and see. And I'm not saying the fight's not happening. I'm just saying you just don't know with all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. But maybe the deal was so sweet. Xander said, man, I'm fighting him, man. I don't want to do this when I'm 30, 35, 40. I want my money now.
Things shift entirely once Coach Breadman reminds everyone that it's the younger fighter who actually hold the belt, treating the challenger as little more than an overhyped name. It's a classic case of earning respect, where the favorite must go through absolute hell just to prove he deserves a spot at the top.
He's a confident kid. Xander has 2 belts. Boots don't have any at 154. Xander might say, y'all may think he all that, but I don't. That's how a fighter is supposed to think. And I respect it. It's up to Boots to prove to him that he is.
Mike Coppinger points out that despite carrying enormous hype, one fighter still hasn't faced real adversity against top-tier competition. Coppinger believes the wait is finally coming to an end, and soon we'll learn whether we're watching a generational talent or simply a very good fighter.
I want to give a lot of credit to Xander Zayas. You know, Xander Zayas, a young guy, he wanted this fight. He called for the fight, and he made it happen quick after the Virgil Ortiz-Boots fight fell apart. So fair play to Xander. He has a lot of confidence in himself, even though he's going to be the underdog. And you're right, Boots hasn't proven anything yet. Not his fault, but he hasn't fought anyone. He looks special. Now we're going to find out, is he?
Mike Coppinger explains that beyond legacy, this fight is also a huge financial bet for a young star who's rapidly outgrowing his current weight class. Backed by a massive following, he argues the underdog is capitalizing on his physical peak to chase the biggest opportunity of his career.
Looks special in that fight, and there's a reason why there's so much hype around Boots. He's an incredible athlete. He has a great jab. He can box. He's in good fights. He has power. But Xander Zayas at 23 is definitely an improving fighter. And like you said, Gabe, he's an economic engine, right? He could be fighting in Puerto Rico. He just sold out in January. He could fight in New York. He's going to probably have the bigger fan support here. Yeah. And I think this is a great business move for Xander, too. He's going to get a career-high payday. And like you said, 190 he walks around at. He hasn't had much more time at 154.
Yeah. And also I'm thinking about is if you really watch Boots, Boots does look special all the time. But there's cases where he gets hit a lot. And you're like, man, for you to be so good and so special, why are you getting hit from some of these lower class fighters? So Xander might have seen that. So you know what? Yeah, I know Boots is special. I know he's really, really good, etc. But I see things in this game where
Sergio Mora believes this clash has moved past titles entirely, now centering on a young champion's pursuit of a life-changing payout that comes hand-in-hand with serious risk. According to him, chasing a multi-million-dollar purse is what's truly fueling this fight, since belts alone no longer satisfy a fighter at this level.
Xander Zayas already got those belts. Now he wants to get paid. To answer your question, he wants money. He realizes that those belts against, I don't even know these guys' names, Abaus Baru and Perez, these guys aren't champions. They're not names. They're not going to get you the paydays that you want. I mean, I would think that he's making mid 6 figures as a champion.
Yeah, he probably topped $1 million for the last fight.
I will be surprised. You need to look into that.
He topped $1 million in the last fight.
Maybe top the million. Okay,
I'm telling you, he topped $1 million.
Okay, well, good for him. I'm proud of Zayas. For a 23-year-old kid hitting 7 figures, that's incredible. But he wants to touch $2-3 million paydays, and with all the money being distributed right now, with all these big players from Saudi to Zuffa to the zone deals and everything else, he wants in on the money. He wants in on the prize, man, because he already got the.
After studying the footage, Sergio Mora confesses he actually notices more technical weaknesses in the favorite than in the challenger. He warns that even though one fighter looks like a superstar, his habit of dropping his guard could give a fundamentally sound opponent exactly the opening he needs for an upset.
Xander's style matters. Now let's look at the good things about Xander. He's young, he's eager, he's strong. He does nothing great, but he does everything good. There's nothing I can knock on him. Defensively, technique is sound. Speed is right. Power is damn good. Body shots,
I think the power
confidence.
is the biggest weakness, though, especially against a guy like Boots.
It's good. I didn't say great, but he does everything really good. Nothing great. That's what I'm saying about Xander's. I can't knock him. I can find things wrong with Boots more than I can Xander's. Boots gets hit. He pulls back his hand. He drops his lead hand. He looks vulnerable at times. Sometimes when he gets in there with a guy.
Even with those defensive gaps, Sergio Mora argues that raw creativity and devastating power can level the playing field in a fight this big. He suggests that while one man may be the more polished technician, the other is a natural finisher who needs only a brief moment to end things early.
If I was to analyze both these guys and taking out the experience, I'm picking out more flaws in Boots than I am in Xander's. But if I'm actually picking a winner, I'm saying, oh, well, wait a minute. Even though Boots is defensively flawed, he's a better offensive fighter. I would say he's a better puncher. I think he's a better creative puncher. I think he switches. He knows how to fight from angles. So aside from the defensive flaws, Boots is a better fighter with more experience, and that's why he's going to be the favorite in this.
Having trained alongside both fighters, Tiger Johnson warns that fans are seriously underestimating how brutal this fight is going to be. He anticipates an all-out war, with both men forced to dig in and exchange heavy shots until one of them finally cracks.
It's gonna be a way better fight than people is giving it. You know what I mean? I think Xander kind of a big dude too. Yeah. Boots is real strong as well, so yeah, he kind of a big dude. But man, I think it's gonna be a war in my opinion. I think they're gonna.
Tiger Johnson explains that one fighter's biggest asset isn't raw power, but rather music, his rock-solid mental discipline, and his ability to stay locked into his game plan even under intense pressure. Per Johnson, this isn't a fighter who wilts under bright lights. He's someone who only grows more dangerous as the fight progresses.
One thing I always liked about Xander, he's real good at sticking to the game plan. Like he listens very well in the corner. You know what I mean? To instructions that's given to him. He's always in dog shape, and he's somebody that he has a lot of will to win. You know what I mean? Like you can always count on him to not fade away from the fight. He don't, you know what I'm saying, he don't weekends at the round.
Tiger Johnson also concedes that dealing with a fighter possessing this kind of speed and switch hitting skill is an absolute nightmare. He stresses that there's no room to relax for even a moment, since one momentary lapse against such sharp reflexes could easily end in a knockout.
I would say Boots is real athletic. He's real versatile. He can fight right hand, southpaw. You know what I mean? He's fast. Good reflexes. So somebody that you just gotta be on your P's and Q's with, and just
Chris Mannix observes that one fighter is having serious trouble making weight, and his reign atop this division could be nearing its end. He believes the physical strain of these grueling weight cuts might be the hidden factor that ultimately determines who comes out on top.
Sees the end coming for him at 154 pounds. Xander Zayas is a big kid. He has been at 154 pounds since 2021. If you've seen him at these weigh-ins, he sucks himself down. He looks rough on these actual
So did Boots at 147.
I agree, but Boots is coming up from he's coming up though. He's on 154. Boots, it's actually a good example. Boots knew it was done. It was over for him at 147. He needed to go up in weight. I think Xander Zayas is at that.
Chris Mannix argues that this fight is shaping up to be the biggest moneymaker possible, fueled by the rivalry between two enormous fan bases right in the middle of New York City. To Mannix, it's far more than just a title defense. It's a calculated final push to lock in a massive payday before one fighter's body eventually pushes him out of this weight class for good.
At that point, the best thing to do in this situation is to cash out with the biggest possible payday. And with respect to the other top fighters that are out there, the Josh Kellys, the Sebastian Fundoras, the biggest payday for Xander Zayas is Boots Ennis, because It's probably the most marketable fight that's out there. Puerto Rican fighter versus a black fighter from Philadelphia, doing it presumably in New York City, where you are going to draw a mix of those two different fans. You know, the promotion, you got plenty of time to promote this thing, so you're gonna have a chance to do a decent number on pay-per-view. This is the biggest payday available.
Don't forget to hit subscribe and check back for more videos like this as we count down to fight night.